Hello, hello, hello. This is Waylon Lewis, coming to you live from Boulder, Colorado. For the first time since I can remember, is actually cold, and we're having some sort of misty rain outside. It's kind of exciting because we've had an entire month of 80-degree weather. It's been the hottest, warmest fall we've ever had. So I'm upstairs, I'm actually in my bathroom, gave you a little glimpse of the bedroom, and I just wanted to talk about something because many people have been having a hard time sleeping for the last couple weeks. I'm not sure why. Maybe something to do with the election. So whatever your view in the election, I think a lot of us are not sleeping well. So from a Buddhist point of view, there's an amazing thing you can do to get rid of all your stress and all your being caught up in your kind of work or your stress or your worries or your anxiety. And that is, of course, meditation, but not of course. So I'm going to talk about exactly how to meditate to get rid of the stress. You're not really getting rid of it. You're just kind of, we'll get to it. If you're just tuning in, say where you're from, and maybe if you've had any problems sleeping, what you do. We could kind of crowdsource some wisdom, because you guys all have great tips. So I have a habit of sleeping like a baby, and I have not slept like a baby this month. This month I have had dreams about a fox being led into the hen house that is America. It's been kind of intense. And as I said, many other people have. So I go to bed. I showed you my bed. It's on the ground, basically, on a platform bed, and it's super comfortable. I sleep on an eco mattress, which is really rare. That's one thing maybe we should mention, is that most of us sleep on relatively toxic mattresses, and we don't want to do that. You want to try and get some sort of organic and natural latex, rubber. Rubber is a natural material that comes out of trees, kind of like maple syrup. It's far better than kind of a lot of the low-level toxic stuff we all sleep on. And let's remember, we spend around 8 hours a day on these things. So yeah, Kana, sometimes my head won't be quiet. Lena from Copenhagen, Ava from Philly, Gwen from Maryland. All right, let's get some more people in here. What is going on? So I'm gonna drink water for a sec. I'm in my bathroom, so it's all immediately accessible. So basically, the Buddhist advice for the 2 best times to meditate are first when you wake up. So you get out of bed, and instead of grabbing your phone or anything, that's a key point, is don't have your phone within, say, 7 feet. Maybe I put my phone in my bathroom with the alarm set. So it's like 20 feet away from my head where my bed is. So you don't want to have a lot of busy entertainment work stuff right there. You want to allow yourself to wake up, look at outside the window. Ideally, you have a window to look at, and kind of enjoy just being human for a moment when you wake up, before kind of getting lost in your texts and your Facebook and your kind of busy mind. So let's remember, busyness is kind of the enemy of enjoying life. It's busyness, though it might feel entertaining, creates a low-level, stressed out mind. So you want to give your mind gaps. Giving your mind gaps is like putting a little water on your plants or your roses. Hey, Dave from Rochester. Nikika from Croatia. Awesome. So if anyone else is, am I on the right channel? Maybe I am. Anyway, so wake up, enjoy a little moment of peace, and then meditate for a couple minutes. Obviously, go to the bathroom, deal with your kids, deal with your dog, whatever you need to do. But do as little stuff as possible before going to meditate. And it can just be for a couple minutes. Before you meditate, bow, dedicate your day to the benefit of others. And then meditate. So we'll practice meditating in a minute. And then before you go to bed, and this is the key time, a lot of us have a lot of stuff going on, stress, kind of residual buildup from the day. And particularly if we're stressed out about an election or about a relationship or about work, our minds will continue to kind of do that work to kind of process, but not in a necessarily healthy way. And we'll go through some sort of insomnia, basically. So as I said, I typically sleep like a baby, but for the last month or two, I haven't, or the last week or two, I haven't. And I'll fall asleep, no problem, but then I'll wake up at like 3 or 4 or 5, and it'll be hard for me to go back to sleep. So instead of struggling to go back to sleep, I try to be really good about just sitting up and meditating, finding my breath, and coming back to the present moment from the stress, instead of many of us waste an hour or so just trying to get back to sleep until it finally happens. So this is really just apply meditation, apply meditation, apply meditation. You'll get out of your stressed, busy monkey mind. Yeah, and if any of you have tips for your wisdom, please bring them on. Like Ava Grace is saying, drinking water helps you sleep, dropping your shoulders, relaxing your facial muscles, sighing, ah, makes me feel better. Marietta, the phone at a distance but can still hear the alarms, genius. Yeah, it's sort of like potato chips, right? We have the same attitude about addictive potato chips or cookies that we do about our phone. We don't want to fall into that world of eating too many potato chips or cookies. So we have to put them out of arm's reach if we're on the couch, right? It's the same thing with your phone. You got to put it like 20 feet away. And then when the alarm goes off, you have to get up, which is also kind of genius, especially if you're waking up early or if it's kind of cold in the house. You want to just turn your alarm off and get back into bed, right? So Lauren, that's a great question. How do you meditate first thing in the morning without falling back asleep? So I do brush my teeth. I go to the bathroom. I let my dog out. I feed him maybe, but I try not to kind of do too much action, do too much interaction with the world. I try not to really check anything on my phone except for possibly my calendar so that I know I'm not gonna, mess stuff up. So yeah, you're right. And you want to kind of wake up a little bit, maybe splash some water on your face. Then you sit down, you dedicate your day to be of benefit to others. And if you need to, you can drink coffee first or tea, whatever your thing is. I don't really fall asleep. So meditation should be eyes open. Actually, that's not true. So the Buddhist meditation I'm talking about should be with your eyes open. There are great meditations with your eyes closed. But particularly in the morning, eyes open is helpful because obviously if your eyes are open, you're going to be a little more internalized. And if you just woke up, you might kind of tend to kind of nod off. Gwen, I meditate. TM, I sleep well, but my head during the day is stressed and getting worse. So that's why we meditate first thing in the morning, because that kind of allows you to continue to have that spacious relationship to your day. When you wake up, you have this brief moment of peace. You look out the window, you look at the yellow leaves. Here you go. And you just look out there and you think about your life and you think about your day and you think about what's going on. And if you just go sit on a meditation cushion, that can continue. That kind of peaceful attitude toward the challenges of your life. It's not that you're going to walk around like the Dalai Lama, like, oh, hello, everything's great all day. You can be yourself, you can be crazy, you can be fun, but you'll have some internal peace. Yeah, Gwen, I wouldn't meditate in bed. So I can show you guys, but I have I just scared my dog. Did you hear him bark? Sorry, I have my phone awkwardly set up because it's charging. Oh, maybe there's someone at the door. Yeah, so anyway, I have a meditation cushion set up in a different room, and that's helpful. Redford, come here. Redford is on the prowl because someone is invading the house. There he is. Hey, Bo. What's up, little guard dog? Okay, so let's go through meditation and how to do it. So when you first wake up, meditate. Right before you go to bed, meditate. I do meditate in bed before I go to bed. I just sit up in bed, like near my pillow, take a good posture, maybe a good breath into my stress, and then relax. when I'm going to bed, I do meditate in bed because I'm not going to fall asleep right away, right? I'm still awake from the day. So I dedicate the meditation to others, not myself. That's important because the attitude is not me, 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 me. It's about meditating so that I can be of service to the world. It's okay, Red. And then I meditate. If I wake up in the morning, I keep the phone and stuff away from me. I do my stuff, my basic stuff, and then I go over, sit on my little meditation cushion. I highly recommend Samadhi cushions. They're probably my favorite. They're not a sponsor, they're just my favorite. I actually kind of interned there when I was in high school. It's in Vermont. But I would advise looking for an organic meditation cushion. Again, we have so many low-level toxic stuff all over our houses. And this isn't some hippie thing. They're full of chemicals, preservatives, formaldehyde, stuff like that. You don't want it. Like, I took care to get a couch that didn't have formaldehyde in it. Okay, so you sit down on your meditation cushion. When you first get up or after you do your stuff, you dedicate yourself to the benefit of the world. You dedicate your day to the benefit of the world. You find your breath. Take a great posture. Let's all do this together, if you like. Anyone up for that? Give a little like or a love or a weird emoticon face if you're up for 2 minutes of meditation right now. If you're at work, you can just meditate and it'll look like you're spacing out. But work should also encourage meditation. Anyone who wants to work or meditate at Elephant Journal is always welcome to, because that is having people who are present and not caught up in their thoughts helps them be insightful, helps them work with great people, and work well with people. So find your breath. I'm standing up, but generally you'll be sitting down. This is the Buddhist practice of shamatha, so your hands will be flat on your thighs. Take a great posture, shoulders up, back, down, and relax. Yeah, true, Leah. All right, so find your breath in and out. I can feel already like a lot of stress just left me. So the attitude about stress is we're not trying to get rid of stress, right? We're actually just trying to make friends with stress. Angela just said thank you for the kindness advice yesterday. That's what we were talking about yesterday, is we're not pushing away stress. We're not pushing away difficulty. We're actually just getting to know it and making friends with it. And as Abraham Lincoln said, if you can make friends with your enemy, then your enemy is no longer your friend. Something like that. All right, meditation. Let's find our breath in and out. To begin with, we'll dedicate the merit of what we're about to do to everyone, including ourselves. Find your breath in and out. This is just your natural breath. Your mouth can be slightly open. Your eyes are open. Particularly important in the morning when you first wake up. So you're just breathing in and out, that's all. It's fine if you're thinking, if you're distracted, just breathe. Your eyes can be kind of 45 degrees down. You can do a body scan and just relax anything that you feel is tight. My shoulders are a bit tight. Okay, so that's just sort of laying the ground for the meditation. Now we're actually going to start meditating. What we were just doing isn't meditation, it's just breathing. So now let's actually meditate. So the only difference is we're going to apply a discipline, a joyful discipline, a relaxed discipline of coming back to our breath when we've been distracted. So I don't know about you, but I was following my breath, but I was also thinking about my day and what I have to do and what I gotta, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. So my mind is a little bit foggy. It's full of thoughts. All right, so let's have some fun with that. So just follow your breath. This is what the Buddha did. It's pretty grounded, basic stuff. It's not magic. It just works really easily. It's we train our body by working out. This is basically just training our mind. So breathe in and out. So what is it training our mind to do? It's training our mind to be present for our life, which is good stuff. You'll enjoy lunch more. You'll enjoy making love more. You'll enjoy being alone more. Follow your breath in and out. Okay, I just found a thought. I'm thinking, and I'm not looking for thoughts. They just kind of like, it's not a project. This isn't like a video game where you're trying to shoot thoughts, although maybe it is a little bit. You're just breathing, and then I had some thoughts of some song that stuck in my head. So I just label that thinking. It's fine. I'm just noticing that I'm thinking, and then I return my attention to my breath. So whatever thoughts you find bouncing around, just label them thinking, return your attention to your breath. I've already meditated today, so it's pretty easy. And that's the good news, is the more you do this, and you don't have to do it a ton, but do it consistently, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, the more you do it, the easier it'll be to just become present with your breath and not caught up in your thoughts. But if you're in a big argument at work or with a loved one, or the election just happened, you might find you need a little longer to get present. And getting present is not an escape. It's not getting away from what's happening in your life. It's allowing you to just be present for your life. Alrighty, so we're going to wrap up. This was a small video because we weren't able to share it out because I didn't warn the editor on duty. But if you appreciate these videos, give it a like or a love, and give it a funny emoticon face, and that'll help more people see this. And this video will then be on youtube.com/elephantjournal. And you can watch it there. So subscribe to youtube.com/elephantjournal. Subscribe here. When I hang up, there'll be a button. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope that was helpful. Was that helpful, anyone? Does anyone have any questions before I hang up? Any questions? Remember, even a couple minutes. Pema Chodron, Sakyong Mipam, my teachers say 2, 5 minutes, whatever you can do right before you go to bed, right when you wake up, or right after you do your basic business, and then la la la. Leah, yeah. All right, that would be a popular video, maybe. All right. Amanda, I have awful anxiety after giving birth, and this really helps me. Thank you. Yeah, anxiety, Amanda, is nothing more than a ton of tangled up thoughts. Thoughts and emotions. So just acknowledge them. Don't try and get away from them. Return your attention to your breath. But they're still making noise. Acknowledge them again. Come back to your breath. Acknowledge them again with patience, without condemning yourself. Come back to your breath. Still going on? That's okay. Just be patient with yourself. You're building up patience and Maitri with yourself. I think Lindsay is here. If you can put Maitri in the links. Read it. And also the basic meditation instruction, Daten, the Daten letter from Trungpa. But we'll put that in the YouTube video too. So subscribe on youtube.com/elephantjournal. And I'm going to get out of here unless you have questions. Oh yeah, there's some instructions from the editor who is here. Yeah, exactly. Aaron, it's kind of like coffee, then the world. No problem. So coffee, meditation, then the world. That should be the title of this video. Dibin, great question. Also beautiful name. Do we breathe in less and breathe out more, or just normal breathing? Normal breathing. Don't make everything a project. It's not a big spiritual project. Trungpa Rinpoche, my Buddhist teacher, would say that meditation should be as basic as brushing your teeth in the morning. It's not a big deal. He actually loved that. NBD, not a big deal. Yeah, Karen, hopefully this will help you sleep. And another key thing is, if you wake up and you're stressed in the middle of the night, don't try and get back to sleep. Just sit up, meditate until you're basically present. Then go back down and you'll just fall asleep. And if you don't, sit up. La la la. From Amy. Acknowledge your thoughts and let them go like brushing a bubble with a feather. I like that. All right. So there's the how to meditate link in the comments. Everyone should open that up. That is the classic instructions to meditate. If you don't think I'm a good teacher, you're probably right. Read that. That's the best ever. All right. Any other final questions? If not, it's time to get out there and enjoy this day. Good morning, Chris. Good morning. It's great to stay up late in the morning with you and you and you and you in the morning. In the morning, it's great to stay up late in the morning with you. Nothing could be grander than to be in Louisiana. All right, I'll wait for one more question, or if you have any more advice or confusions about how to set up a good falling asleep, waking up, living meditation experience. I am not wacky, Jennifer. Karen, that's all you get. I gotta make coffee and get out of here. I'm waiting for a question or an idea, and then I'm leaving. I'm basically just buying time for the editor to share it everywhere since I didn't warn the poor editor. Ooh, look at this fancy quote from the editor. The point of meditation isn't to be peaceful, to be better than where you are now, or to get away from everything. Is to be present with whatever is. That's a quote by me about meditation. So there's an editor's letter if you'd like. Chris, I am about to hang out with Ashley, who works for Elephant, and then we're going to go pick up a framed painting that an Instagram fan of mine did of Redford, and it's framed in barnwood, so recycled wood that's untreated, which is kind of cool. And then we're going to drop off. I'll show you in one sec if you stick around. So my friend Brunofsky, who's an amazing artist, sent me this. He does these original kind of wisdom calligraphies. This is Ram Dass, who I've meditated. If you want to see my interview with Ram Dass, it's on youtube.com/elephantjournal. And then he also did this quote of Trungpa Rinpoche. So Trungpa Rinpoche was my parents' Buddhist teacher, and I'm going to go frame this. And it says, this is a perfect way to end. It says, nowness is the sense that we are attuned to what is happening. The past is fiction, and the future is a dream. And we are just living on the edge of a razor blade. By Chögyam Trungpa. And this is, Brunofsky is a very, very talented guy. He's on Instagram. He also did a calligraphy of me and a quote I did about the election, which was kind of interesting. I don't look very good in his drawing, but, you know, that's just vanity talking. All right. Karen, if we have a PVC mat, what do we do with it now that would be most mindful, safe for the earth? I would donate it because it already exists, and the worst parts of the PVC are when it's created and when it's destroyed. But you kind of still don't want it around. So I would donate it, and someone will use it for under a rug, or someone will use it for yoga. Rena, I sleep way too much. Oh, suddenly all these questions. Rena, I sleep way too much. So coming back to the PVC, before we leave that great question, Karen, I would donate it because some people out there don't have a mat at all, and they want it. I donated my Manduka. This is sort of coming from a conversation I did about PVC and yoga mats. So 90% of us, 99% of us are practicing yoga on toxic mats. Our sponsor, Jade Yoga, has a deal. If you type elephant in, you can get free shipping, which is like the equivalent of 10% off. And you can practice on a rubber mat, which is natural. So I would recommend that. Yeah, so Leah, I drink fair trade coffee, organic, and black. Ava, yeah, there are many different kinds of meditations, but the basic meditation I am doing here is shamatha. It's a great daily meditation. There's contemplative meditations, there's heart meditations, there's Tonglen meditation, which I love. Amanda, do you recommend meditating when having a panic attack? Does this help? That's a tough question. Amanda, often if it's an incredibly physical experience you're going through, it can be better to just go for a walk in nature along a creek or something a little bit active so you can just kind of breathe it out and then maybe go meditate. If you're having a super intense physical kind of experience, a panic attack, a freak out, first of all, know that that's okay and that you don't have to freak out about freaking out, that we all freak out sometimes. And you can meditate, but when you meditate, you're not trying to contain the panic attack. You're just trying to acknowledge it and come back to your breath. So you're not trying to contain it. Otherwise, it'll be too tight. Does that make any sense? Chris, no big plans for Thanksgiving. I'm going to have Thanksgiving at some friend's house. I was going to host my own, but I couldn't find enough vegan types who didn't have families, because just about everyone leaves, which is awesome. Rena, I sleep way too much lately, like excessively. I think it's a way I'm trying to avoid myself and my problems. How can meditation help me with this? Help me stop this. So I'll grab this. So this book is one of my favorite. I buy like 5 of it a year and give them out. It's called Shambhala, The Sacred Path of the Warrior by Chogyam Trungpa. And if Lindsay or the editor is on my blog, Best Classic Buddhist Books for Beginners, meditation and peace is not a passive thing. It's a practice of bravery. It's a practice of being willing to get outside of our own little cocoons and actually experience the world directly and fully. Kind of carpe diem style. So I also have a blog about death can come at any moment. It's the Buddhist 4 reminders. So maybe practice, Rena, saying the 4 reminders to yourself for a week. And they're basically just about carpe diem, about appreciating life and how precious and short it is. And remember that when you practice meditation, that it's a bravery practice, so that you can embrace your own challenges. Right now, you're maybe, it sounds like your own wisdom is saying, I'm trying to kind of avoid the challenges in my life and just be cozy. And that's okay, I think, on some level. You know, your inner wisdom is also saying, I need to kind of heal up a little bit. So don't be too hard on yourself. But yeah, if you're hiding too much, there's one other blog I would read, which is The Cocoon. Read The Cocoon. It's a chapter in here, but it's also on Elephant Journal. Read it. It'll inspire you immensely. I think that will connect with you more than anything I just said. Marietta, what are your tips for how to keep a meditation routine going? I start and then stop. Any tips for what you have found helps would be very welcome. Marietta, the best thing to do is once in your life, try and do a daten, like they're doing a daten over the holidays at Shambhala Mountain Center, up in the Rockies or at Kermicholing in Vermont. Do a daten, D-A-T-H-U-N. It's a month-long meditation. You can do a week of that, which is called a weektun. But if you can do longer periods of group meditation, you will discover that meditation is joy, that meditation helps you enjoy your life fully. And then it won't be a matter of discipline or willpower, you'll just do it. So do 2 to 5 minutes every morning, that's 4. Do 2 to 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes every morning and every evening. That's my basic advice. But it shouldn't be a matter of hard discipline. It should be something you want to do. Like for myself, I can't function if I'm caught up in my own thoughts. So I just meditate. If people are liking or appreciating this, please like or love the video, and that'll help it get beyond the algorithm to all those who might give a care. Help it get beyond the choir. So give it a like or love if you feel like it, or a share is most powerful. But I can't ask for a share, that's just too much. Polyurethane, yeah, anything poly basically means plastic. PVC means polyvinyl chloride. Here's a shortcut to remember about PVC. If you see the word vinyl in anything, as Umbra at grist.org, which is a beautiful, wonderful site, says, no on vinyl, and that's final. No vinyl. This is toxic stuff. A lot of vegans, I'm vegan, are all about vinyl instead of leather. Bad. Vegans should be environmentalists as well. Nienke, can you show how you sit on a meditation cushion? Well, there's many different ways. If you have physical problems, you can just sit on a chair. You can sit on the floor in full lotus. You definitely don't need to. I myself sit on a Gamden. Again, you could go check out Samadhi Cushions. I love them. They're not a sponsor. I'm just saying I love them. But I would make sure to pick an organic cushion or Kapok or something. So you just sit with your crossed legs. Your basic thing is your knees should be below your hips. Does that make sense? I'm in my bathroom, so it's kind of hard to demonstrate. But basically, if you're sitting cross-legged, like here's your torso and here's your head up here, and here's your legs, this is your knees, and your legs are crossed, and your knees should be below your hips. If they're up like this, then you'll start slumping. So just take a great posture and then relax. And then your knees should be below. It should just feel stable. You're kind of a tripod situation. Chris, breathing helps panic attacks. Amen. Demi, almost all yoga mats are toxic. If it feels like plastic, PVC, it probably is. I would recommend Jade or any company that does rubber. Even Jade isn't perfect, as you can put my video in here. I interview the Jade guy, but they're pretty darn close, and they donate a tree for every mat sold. But make sure to get the rubber ones, not PVC, not PVC, not PVC. And if you get Jade, they are a sponsor. They make these videos possible. You can enter the code ELEPHANT, and then you'll get a discount. Yeah, there's the info. They plant a tree, la la la. Yeah, Abhin Higgins, amazing name. What art am I into? Do you hang up the frames in quotes, looking for inspiration for my new house? Oh, it's Aveen. You put the advice on saying your name at the end. I said Abuhin. Aveen, I have all kinds of different art everywhere. I love vintage movie posters. I have a vintage French poster of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn in it, because Errol Flynn was my childhood idol. I try and find art that connects with stuff that I love or admire. I have a huge poster by Shepard Fairey of Obama, signed by Shepard Fairey. I have a big poster of Robert Redford in my favorite movie, The Candidate, which I highly recommend, especially now. Magda, how do I think about Osho meditations? I'm not that familiar with Osho. I think there's been some talk about it being a little bit culty, but everyone's a little culty. I can't speak with any kind of authority on there. I've read a lot of Osho quotes that I love and appreciate. So maybe Google Osho on Elephant Journal and there's some articles about it. Yeah, there's my interview with Dean. The foundation of yoga is literally toxic and bad for you unless you're using this, really. Aaron loves Shambhala. My phone is falling. Denny, how do you deal with changing as a person? How do you cope with people's reaction? How do you unify your old self with your new self? I don't know. I don't know how much I've changed. I've grown up a little bit. I'm more mature than I used to be. I'm older. Uh-oh. I think that's my ride. Come on in! Yeah. All right. I got to go, folks. Basically, Denny, my advice would be don't worry about it too much. Just be you. Find friends who give you honest advice, not just flattery. That's Redford's typical greeting. All right, there's Tonglen in the comments. Beautiful meditation. But I would just try Shamatha, the basic meditation right now. There's the books I recommend, including Shambhala, Buddhism 101. Ooh. Yeah, vinyl records, well, you're not interacting with it too much, but yeah, any kind of vinyl isn't going to be too good for you. Vinyl dust is probably not good stuff. Dotun. There's an article about Dotun. I highly recommend it if any of you can possibly take a week or a month off around Christmas at Shambhala Mountain Center or Carmen Choling. Get it. Emma, one of my favorite mats made out of recycled wetsuits. There's an article about it. I don't use incense when I meditate. Incense is also pretty bad for us. It's kind of like smoking. But if you do use incense, use natural incense like shoyedo. Do you know shoyedo? Hey, by the way, folks, it sounds like I'm going to be going to Florida for a book reading and a talk about mindful relationships. So if you're interested in that, email us at books@elephantjournal.com and we'll send you info. And if you want to check out my book, it's about mindful relationships and loneliness and love and all that. elephantjournal.com/books is the link. All right, folks. As soon as I hang up, there will be a button if you want to get notifications. Thank you so much, and thank you to Lindsay or whomever the editor was. If you appreciated this video, give it a like or a love. Please subscribe to youtube.com/elephantjournal because Facebook Live is great now, but it may not be great next month. So I could move over to YouTube at any time. Facebook is not to be trusted. They're powerful, but they do not care about little independent journalism and media. Thanks, folks, and best to you all. Have a wonderful day. Give it a like or a love. That really helps the video get out there. Mwah.